Assalamu alaikum. His blessings and peace be upon you, Mondian Astral Oracles, and hello to you out there, wherever you are in the time space. I'm glad to be with you. If you're watching this in somewhat real time, then February 26th, 2023, the usual time of day, you can find out when by checking in with the channel. There will be a live stream. I plan to channel, I think it will be one of the ninth dimensional councils or something highly alien that we'll check in with. And that's also why we are gathered here today, dearly beloved, is to check in with some alien content. And someone, I believe it was Jennifer White asked me in the comments why I've decided to split the channels, because I have another channel, Mind the Wild, that you can also keep up with. It's because I kind of feel like it's cute having like a channel that's just about channeling animal spirits and elements and plants and stuff, but also because I know people may come here for different reasons, and this alien content is widely different from a lot of let's say the more planetary or earthly stuff. And I never quite know what to make of it, other than I think it's insanely funny that I can connect to these energies and bring through this information. So that is kind of a part of the wide experiment. And you can also follow me over at Coffee, where you can also support the stuff. There it goes into more like esoteric, hands-on, practical guides and that stuff. So it's also to keep this kind of distinction between where the different information is offered, and it is because I'm partially not very good with ordering information, and I have a very broad scope of interest. So I'll just tend to just include and stack everything on top of each other in the same format. So I'm trying to keep it somewhat separate. And if that preamble didn't confuse you, let's return to the topic at hand, because as the title implies, I'm going to channel something about starseeds. And let's actually check in with them. I feel the Pleiadean 9D Council, and the reason I want to check in with the Pleiadians are that they're very, very connected to humans vibrationally, and are of course also the ones that are immediately preceding us in the Starseed lineage mythology, where the different species sort of give way or inspire or create each other and guide each other towards a new stage before they themselves can make it into the non-physical stages. So that's kind of a part of the reasoning, and what I want to look into is what kind of starseed are you? How can you determine these starseed energies? If you may notice, I have a lot of Arcturian energy, and I also it's very easy for me to pick up on Arcturian energy in other people, and I can almost see it visually. It's almost like there's this umbrage around them in their energy field that's related to the Arcturian energy field. So it's interesting how these configurations exist, and that is, like we talk about dominant vibrations in the metaphysical game, in the spiritual game, and in connection to manifestation. This also applies to starseeds, that you essentially have, of course, the potential of the entire universe and a lot of different energy configurations, billions and billions of them presumably, in your system, but some are just way more dominant and are the ones playing out and expressing and exerting themselves in your life, and that's kind of the logic of the starseed energy. And of course, reiterating again, just primarily, you are of course a human being living down here on planet Gaia, because that's the immediate knock on wood reality we're dealing with. So without further ado, sending you much love out there, And let's check in with the 90 Pleiadians to get a little wiser about understanding your starseed type and energy. Much love. Greetings, blessings, and hello, dear human beings. The 90 Pleiadian Council communicating and connecting to you this day in boundless love through the primary and underlying signal of unconditional love. That is how we connect to you this day in addressing this theme of underlying vibrations. So that is to frame this for you, dear ones. Understand that the underlying vibration, the common denominator in our vibrational field, is the vibration of love. So when we use this word love, it is because it is the word that most approximates, let's call it the effervescent radiance of the universe. It's the word you use that to the greatest extent adjoins the concept of free-flowing energy, potential, enthusiasm, force in the physical universe, and the emotional components of gratitude, appreciation, understanding, truth, belonging, recognition, discernment, hope, faith, and connection. These are all implications within the overarching energy of love. And what you are discovering is that there's a greater relationship between the inner and outer realities than you have allowed yourself to think as a species for a while. That is, you've been playing around with this idea of you inhabiting a type of dead or solid state universe with yourself as a type of abnormal free-flowing components within this vast barren space. You were the outcroppings of conscious life that were trying to make sense of their disconnection to this vast and hostile space. But this is not the reality. So this practice in and of itself, and the fact that you are listening to this, connecting to this, understanding this, it's a sign that you are coming to terms with the communicative quality of reality. That everything speaks, and it may not be speaking English or Esperanto or Swahili or whatever is your preferred code of language. It might just be speaking chair, because that's the way chair expresses itself. It's a structure or a component of elements that allow for that shape to come forward and reach you. So when you begin to understand that everything, even the physical world, is in and of itself speech, you're tapping into a deeper vibrational law of the universe. So this is what is often expressed in these many traditions where you understand the creation of the world also as spoken from words, the idea that in the beginning was the word, the idea that the sacred vibration of the three holy syllables of the A, the U, and the M, in conjunction and in a hallowed roundabout, they dance and create this vibration you call reality. Here you will see that everything then is a word that points back to the one divine word, this one divine vibration. And you are always trying to encapsulate this in the simplest of accessible components in your spiritual and aesthetic traditions. And that is so often why you end up in the structure of a trinity. Because you find that there are always two opposing elements at play, adjoining each other, and both are in opposition to the great underlying nothing, the void of existence that underpins everything. So much as you have understood, there is also the opportunity to express this code in a simple binary set of zeros and ones, in a code of black and white. So why are we giving you this long metaphysical preliminary? How does this relate to your Starseed configuration, to you understanding your specific energy? Well, if you want to take an accurate measurement of reality, of the vibrational state that you find yourself in, it can be very helpful for you that you don't begin with the fillings or the toppings. You don't begin with the content that's balanced on top a great platform. You realize that the platform is there. And the platform is this steady change within a stable structure. And these are the fundamental holy syllables of what you are. This is the ringing of your being that you hear beyond silence. This is the light that permeates your inner vision and reaches you in darkness. From that point onward, that is from this fundamental creation, this vibrancy of the Godhead that we all share, this love existing and bubbling up as a gratitude of being, as a thankfulness for everything that exists above the void. This fundamental Godhead, this then divides and separates itself into billions upon trillions of forms, so many manifestations are made real in this universe that it is incomprehensible from any singular point to understand it. And so instead, these singular points, they take flight into specificity. So understand this, that the Godhead is not settled with understanding its totality as a total, as a whole. It wants to see it specifically delineated in all its different glorious parts. And this is where you, or indeed we, come in. You exist as a greater subdivision of existence, just as we once did. Because unconsciousness is the quality that subdivides existence. And so it is with these layers of unconsciousness that you can actually find out where your parameters are. So understanding that the highest level of consciousness is completely aligned with this Godhead frequency, with this steady vibration, with this unchangeable dynamism in reality. That has no desires, it rests upon itself, it is everything at once, and so all it wants is for everything to be as it is. But there are likely preferences, even agendas. There are fancies and inclinations within you that tell you where unconsciousness still has its joyful role to play out. That is, what are your desires? What are the things that drive you? What is the content that sifts into the blank spaces of your fantasies? That is, what do you envision for yourself? What makes you tick? And if you discover this, you will find that there is a primary configuration that's moving through you. So if you are aligned much with our Pleiadean energy, and that is specifically our species before we evolved, and we formed the development of your species, you will find that you are very interested in exploring the realms of building energy within the physical dimensions. Because the human frame, the biological body of human beings, are said to be able to be charged with far more complex energy than we ourselves were. So there's a carrying forward of that legacy. You will find that those who align with the Arcturians, they are very interested in the accumulation of knowledge. They are encyclopedic in the way they like to simply grasp things for the joy of it. You will find that those who enjoy manipulating the physical world, engineering, creating, undertaking projects and bending reality, they are often very aligned with the reptilian codes. And so you can understand this as domination, but you can also understand it as ingenuity, of inventiveness, of the ever adaptive spirit that refuses to bend down to the universal forces, and that ever uses its creation to bridge new worlds and gaps, to create new possibilities. And so the lists are endless. You will find that many people who align with the temperate areas of this planet, they have a greater influx of an energy of a species called the Lului. And they are simply very interested in seeing how physical codes react to chills, as their planetary experience was one of greater difference and development in temperatures. So that is simply to say, before we either lose you or our friend here in these vast expanses of cosmic vision, that there is much energy that's configured within you. And so when you discern what kind of energies are feeding into you, and maybe the plant realms are calling you to take care of them, maybe there is much of the angelic intelligence within you. And if you find that that is the case, you will find that this need to protect and encase also becomes pronounced in you. So always, where are your desires and how are they bending? Where are your inclinations taking you? And when you adapt to this circumstance, when you understand this circumstance, you can begin to harness these energy and cultivate them. Begin to let them into your life with crystals. You can begin to understand that this is the greater theme that you are examining. And indeed, this is a part of the greater awareness, rising awareness, because then you begin to fit things into a scheme where they are appropriate, connected to their whole. They are in place, so to speak. And this, in and of itself, is of a higher vibration. It's of feeling greater love, connectivity, understanding, and communion with reality in general. You can also clear yourself and simply ask for the energy to well up within you. So again, if you align with this fundamental vibration, you will see the difference in that vibration and the thing that is still alive in your energy field. And this is a way to enjoy and amplify the dance of the archetypes within you, the expression of astral energy, vital, alive, growing organically, changing, adapting, learning and becoming whole through being you, and much more that you are still discovering. So we, the 9D Pleiadean Council, we have indeed enjoyed very much connecting to you this day. We thank you, and with unconditional, unwavering love, we bless you and send you our peace. Farewell. Like it always feels very classical for me channeling like these 9D collectives. They just have like a very broad, steady vibration that's pleasurable connecting to. So I hope that served you and that you find your starseed energy alive and well in you. So much love to you out there.